everyone, this is Kathy Kachow from Community Real Estate Group of Pearson Smith Realty. I'm super excited to share that I'll be starting a new video series where we share some quick tips and information with home buyers and sellers as you get started in the process, whether you're buying or selling. Today, I'm here with Mike Stein of McLean Mortgage. Thanks so much for joining me on my first video.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on getting your video series kicked off. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Thank you. So here we are actually already in 2019. It's midway through February. Spring is around the corner and buyers and sellers are definitely coming out and asking, how's the market looking? Is now a good time to jump in? What's interest rates looking like? What would you share with these folks?
Oh boy, the spring market definitely seems like it has sprung recently. We certainly have seen quite a few buyers that are finding properties that are having multiple offers. It's a challenge for some people to find just the right place. So we just need more inventory to come on the market. As far as interest rates go, I mean, we're actually at a really good place. Back in October, we were around 5%, maybe slightly above or slightly below, depending on the type of loan. But in fourth quarter of last year, the stock market really struggled. As you probably know,
Yes, it did.
a lot of people got that fourth quarter statement in the mail in January and thought, oh my gosh, what happened there? So what's normal in that, though, is when the stock market comes down, mortgage rates also come down. So we saw a natural progression there. Mortgage rates dipped back into the mid-4s, which is very welcome, versus 5. But in January, we saw a great rebound on the stock market. Stock market came roaring back. The strange thing there is mortgage rates did not. They stayed low. So we're still in a good spot for mortgage rates for someone that's looking to buy in the near future. So I think it's a phenomenal opportunity to be able to take advantage of low interest rates if you can find the right house.
Absolutely, I completely agree. It is kind of a unique situation right now that we're in like a sweet spot with the rates and the market. And actually in 2018 overall, the home sales were up. When you compare December 2017 to 2018, Northern Virginia Association of Realtors recorded about a 5.5% increase. And in some areas such as Arlington, Alexandria, there was as much as a 28% increase in home sales. And that was likely due to the Amazon HQ2 announcement that they had in the fall that affected some of that. And then we also saw an increase in first-time home buyers that had been, previously living at home or renting, and then they're starting to jump into the market, likely maybe because of the interest rates as well, just timing, and some of the factors like Amazon had affected all that a combination.
Absolutely.
So what we're seeing right now, though, with the recent shutdown, obviously there's a little bit of lower inventory, as you mentioned, and there may be a little bit of hesitation because there's a big question mark from home buyers about whether or not it's a good time to buy, and there's a little bit of uncertainty there. Now, looking forward, though, to the rest of 2019, what are some of your predictions?
I tell you, that's a great question. I mean, my crystal ball hopefully is working today. It's a very difficult thing to predict well, because as soon as you think you know what's going on with the market, it tends to prove you wrong. But we do expect rates will start steadily climbing up this year. I think rates will probably end the year somewhere between 5 and 5.5%. So it's not a significant increase, but it's definitely higher than what we're seeing now. And some people are fearful of what housing prices do. Well, a $10,000 price increase might only add $45 to your payment, but you get a 0.5% increase in your interest rate, and all of a sudden it's a couple $100. So depending on the price range, of course. So that's something to be concerned about. So if you're thinking about buying, maybe sooner is better than later to take advantage of the low interest rates that we've got now. I will say that from a first-time buyer market, I do think that we're going to see a higher percentage of first-time buyers coming into the market. While some people look at 4.5 or a mid-4 range they feel it's high, but that's only because we had a sustained period of 2012 to 2017 where rates were below 4%.
Very low, exactly.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden our bar of comparison is skewed, and now we're thinking, gosh, 4.5% is so high. But back before 2012, we were thinking 4.5% would never happen.
Right.
So it's all a matter of what you're comparing it against. But I do think that as rates increase, which is natural and we expect it, when rates pop over 5, we're going to start seeing a big slowdown on the number of move-up buyers. If somebody is in their home at a 3.5% rate, or some even a lower rate than that, their motivation to move up to something bigger isn't impeded by going from 3.5 to 4.5. But when rates pop to 5 or 5.5, going from 3.5 to 5.5 or higher is going to pause and say, gosh, do we really want or need that bigger home? You know, maybe we just make do with what we've got and keep our 3.5% rate. So because of that, I think we're going to see a slowdown in the move-up buyers, but it's going to be supplemented with a bigger increase in first-time home buyers and investors. We've already seen an uptick in first-time buyers, as you mentioned.
Yep.
And since the announcement of HQ2 for Amazon, we've seen an uptick in investors.
Definitely.
So that's definitely creating
speculation there.
Definitely, it's creating a great opportunity. So I think it's the last piece to that is we have a tremendous job market in this area. We're one of the top 5 job markets in the country. So sometimes people will read the national news and they'll say, gosh, you know, housing is down. You know, year over year, we're down this year. We're down from what we did last year. Well, this local market, DC, North Virginia market, being one of the top 5 job markets in the country, you have high incomes, you have confidence is up, and that was before Amazon announced the headquarters.
Yes.
So you've got a lot of confidence that is supporting this housing market in our local area. So I do think it's a great opportunity to take advantage of buying a home now.
Thank you. That's great information, great insight, and I completely agree. I think just the combination of just our local area, DC Metro, Northern Virginia, that sweet spot in the interest rates, as you were saying, currently, and the inventory starting to come back up. Actually, right now, at the end of January and beginning of February, we're starting to see a little bit more inventory, which is great because then there's lots of buyer interest. We're seeing 20 to 30 visitors at some of these open houses over 2-3 hour time span, which is a pretty good indicator that it's going to be a strong and busy spring market. So we're going to be looking at a pretty healthy market here coming up soon.
Absolutely.
So if you are thinking about buying or selling, now is a great time to jump in. And if you have any questions or want to get the conversation started, feel free to reach out. We can absolutely connect you with Mike as well if you have any questions on the financing side. But thank you so much for watching our first video. Mike, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hope you all have a great week.